Hey guys, it's me again. Here we're going to do document B of the DBQ documents. And I think the best way for me to do this is kind of read through it with you and then do the questions as we get to the answers. So document B, always look at your source. You're going to see that this is from a book called Origins and Religious Backgrounds of the Samurai System in Japan. So document B. Loyalty towards the feudal lord in Japan was hereditary, and hereditary means it's passed down from generation to generation. Service of a feudal lord went from father to son, so that the relations of lord and samurai existed between many families for generations. This arrangement was at the same time a voluntary one, in that there was no legal binding agreement between the two parties. The European feudal contract, which was a legal document spelling out the obligations of lord and vassal respectively, never existed in Japan. So that's a really important difference because in Japan, there was no legal agreement. They did it out of honor. But just like this reading says, in the European model of feudalism, there's an actual legal document. So if you don't do your feudalism obligations, you are going against the legal document. It became common to speak of the samurai's allegiance to his lord as lasting the duration of 3 lives: his past existence, his present one, and the next life. The life of a samurai was not his own, but belonged entirely to his lord, and it was the duty of the samurai to consider this at all times. Not only the life of a samurai was at the disposal of his feudal lord, but also those of his wife and his children. So if you were a samurai and you were working for the lord out of loyalty in Japan, your wife and children also were at the disposal, or they were controlled kind of by the feudal lords in Japan. So now, since we've read that part of the document, I'm going to go over to the questions, which I told you guys, again, you can just copy and paste them onto a Google document, and then at the end, you're going to copy them all into that submission box. Document B says, what evidence is there that the bond between a lord and the samurai in Japan was strong? So, based on what I just read, what shows you that the lord and the samurai have trust with each other and that they don't necessarily have to have that legal contract? What evidence do you see that the samurai trust his lord? Now, I want to just go down here and kind of go over what this says in the note, because it looks really long, but it's not completely really that hard to understand. To receive a grant of land, an English or French nobleman knelt before his lord and pledged loyalty and military support. In return, the lord swore an oath of protection and granted a piece of land, that's the fief. This vassal thus became a lord, and if his landholding was big enough, could grant pieces of his new estate to vassal knights for the same oath of loyalty. Unlike Japan, this feudal arrangement was not usually hereditary. The son of a knight was not obligated to become a knight and could discontinue the contract. So, the other 2 questions literally just say, based on this document, what was an important similarity between the samurai and the knights? So, based on what I just read of document B in here, what is a similarity between a samurai in Japanese feudalism and knights in European feudalism? And then number 3, based on the document, what was an important difference between the samurai and the knights? So I pointed out 1 or 2 along the way. So what is one of the important differences between the samurai and the knights? So once you've answered those 3 questions, you can kind of close out your Google Doc and then either take a break or you can move on to document C if I've already posted the video. Have a good night.